Stagnant. Left to the winds of the YouTube world, FPSRussia hasn't made an upload since early 2016. FPSRussia used to be one of the biggest YouTubers on the platform in late 2012, having the top 9th subscriber rank on all of YouTube while also dominating in millions of views. FPSRussia's videos delivered some of the highest quality gun content on the platform, having access to a wide variety of firearms as well as explosives that he would use on his property. His content stood out amongst the rest of the YouTube crowd. This was the perfect recipe that led to his YouTube success. However, after the unsolved murder of the weapon supplier for his videos, being raided by the ATF, which led to the confiscation of more than $400,000 worth of weapons, and being sent to prison after the collapse of his channel, his YouTube career would go from soaring above new heights to taking a straight fall downwards into the grave. This is the downfall of Kyle Lamar Myers, aka FPSRussia. FPSRussia started his YouTube channel in April 19, 2010, first posting commentary videos while playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. FPSRussia would play a fictional Russian man of the name Dmitry Potapov, talking about random topics and joking around most of the time and fully adopting this persona.
Hello my friends, it is FPSRussia, and as you know, I am always on the cutting edge of new humiliation techniques. I always think to myself, what is the best way to humiliate the baby buffalo? I have come up with a new idea. Direct impact only.
Eventually, FPSRussia wanted to change up his content by showing off the guns he saw in Call of Duty in real life, showing off a variety of weapons from the Call of Duty game series such as the UMP-45 submachine gun, the AUG assault rifle, and the double-barrel shotgun. This would be the new trend he would follow on his channel. FPSRussia would up the intensity by showing off an RCXD strapped with an explosive, which is a reference from Call of Duty. After posting more of this in real-life gun content, his channel would explode exponentially, going from a mere 28,000 total views on April 26, 2010 to exactly 1 year later to almost 77 million total views on April 26, 2011. It's safe to say this content change was the best move FPSRussia would ever make, making an average of $2,700 a day. This allowed FPSRussia to buy bigger and better weapons as well as explosives and rocket launchers to show off to his huge audience on YouTube. By the time December of 2012 rolled around, FPSRussia had officially reached top 9th subscriber rank on the whole YouTube platform with almost 3.3 million subscribers. The sky truly had no limits for FPSRussia. On January 3, 2013, FPSRussia's channel would start to disintegrate all in the matter of days as Keith Ratliff, the man who supplied the weapons for FPSRussia's channel, had mysteriously been murdered with a shot in the back of his head in his home. Many theories have been speculated as to why he was murdered, however, his murder has still not been solved to this day. Keith Ratliff was an essential part of the channel's survival as he had owned a federal firearms license. A federal firearms license allows a person to own firearms and other such weapons that are not regularly accessible to the general public in the United States. Following Keith Ratliff's death, the channel would cease making content for about another month and a half. However, on February 19, 2013, FPSRussia would make a comeback video titled FPSRussia UTS 15 12 gauge, explaining that he wanted to get back into the swing of things after the death of Keith Ratliff.
Hello my friends, it is FPSRussia, and we're back in action. So as many of you know, we lost a member of the team about a month ago, but I felt like it was time to get back into the swing of things, get back to the firearms, and most importantly, get back to entertaining you guys.
This string of bad luck would only continue for FPSRussia as on March 29, 2013, the ATF, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives Agency, would raid FPSRussia's house in suspicion that he was in possession of illegal explosives. The raid was also conducted in suspicion that FPSRussia might have been tied to the murder of Keith Ratliff. However, no illegal explosives were found, nor did FPSRussia have any involvement in Keith Ratliff's murder. After the raid from the ATF, the last upload FPSRussia would make would be on April 15, 2013, with a video title of AK-47 Bacon Sunday, which would be just one of his regular type of videos. FPSRussia would talk about rules and regulations that had been imposed on him from the government on the PKA podcast, the Painkiller Already podcast, which still is running today.
I've always had like rules and regulations imposed on me that no other like gun YouTube channel had imposed on them, with the licensing that I had to have.
FPSRussia, now knowing that the government was watching his YouTube channel through a careful lens, he decided to delete a decent portion of his videos on his channel to prevent more legal troubles from happening. However, on January 10th, 2014, about 9 months later after his last video, FPSRussia would upload another video titled 12 Gauge Bullpup, in which he would explain his complete absence from the channel and all social media.
Hello my friends, it's FPSRussia, and it has been a very long time since we've uploaded a video. And it's been a while since I've posted on social media as well, and I wanted to first of all explain that I've been through so many times where I've been trying to set up production days, working with film crews, working with high-speed stuff, and everything fell through, and I kept telling everyone, we'll have a video in a week, we'll have a video in a month.
However, the damage had already been done. FPSRussia's channel would drop significantly in viewership and subscriber growth between this time, going from about 150,000 subscribers and 9 million views per month to about 60,000 subscribers and 5 million views per month. This drop in growth wasn't that big of a dip considering he hadn't uploaded for a straight 9 months. However, this meant he would go from making about $83,000 a month to about $33,000 a month. However, after the death of Keith Ratliff and the ATF raid, FPSRussia's channel would never be close to the same amount of activity again. His upload count dropped quite dramatically, going from almost weekly to monthly uploads. Since FPSRussia still had most of his weapons and also the highest firearms license available like Keith Ratliff, the thought that FPSRussia would be raided again by the ATF probably lingered in the back of his head.
A license to manufacture. Like, you didn't have a regular license, you had a super license.
No, yeah, I had the highest level of licensing for everything. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you're kind of on a database of like, oh, this guy has this.
This fear that another search of his house would turn out happening in the near future.
They wrote a bad warrant. They wrote a warrant that said they were able to search my home due to the fact that I was wearing shorts.
However, this search of his house wouldn't be completely useless as they found a small amount of butane hash oil, which wouldn't be great news for FPSRussia, as possessing drugs while owning firearms is a federal offense in the United States.
Now, I had some cargo shorts on, and they said because I was wearing shorts, that meant that I was heading straight home with the half ounce of marijuana, and therefore they had the right to search my home.
This charge allowed the government to seize all of FPSRussia's guns, totaling up to about $400,000 worth of weapons.
What do they do with the guns? They just hold on to them, put them in a big vault somewhere?
Probably destroy them.
What would you... 200K? Like, you get more than that in guns.
Yeah, closer to 400.
They took $400,000 worth of guns?
FPSRussia would be sentenced to about 2 months in prison with 2 years of probation, as well as a $7,500 fine following the seizure of his weapons and the possession of the butane hash oil.
Finally negotiated down to this crime that's 0 to 6 months, and then it's up to the judge's discretion, and then he gave me 2. So yeah, been a fun little time.
FPSRussia would talk about how unless the law in America is changed or he moves to a different country, he can no longer upload any type of content on his main channel.
Maybe I'm
there's a lot of countries. There are a lot of countries with gun rights, and there are a lot of countries that you can immigrate to, regardless of having a felony, especially the kind of felony that I have. You know, they're like, oh, that? Okay, we don't care. Canada would be the one I would go to. I'd have to hire an immigration attorney to work through a few things, but I could probably go to Canada.
Luckily, FPSRussia maintained some success by being an integral part of the Painkiller Already podcast. The last upload on FPSRussia's channel was April 16th, 2016. Maybe one day we can see FPSRussia get back into the swing of blowing up things with machine guns and rocket launchers, but as of now, the identity of Dmitry Potapov lays dormant, waiting to stand the test of time.